Hi, and welcome to AV Cyberactive. Hope everybody is having a lovely day. If you're just starting in the field of cybersecurity, there are some fundamental skills and knowledge areas that are essential for building that strong foundation. Here are the top 8 skills that I'm going to introduce you to that will help you to get into cybersecurity. And if you stick till the end of the video, I'm going to go ahead and give you a link to my website, which will list the top 10 cybersecurity questions that get asked and help you to crack that cybersecurity interview. Let's get started. The first important skill that you should have is the networking skill. So having a strong networking basic foundation skill and understanding how the computer network works is fairly very essential. You should know what's an IP address, what the different types of IP addresses, why was IPv4 deprecated or discontinued, and why did it get replaced with IPv6. Subnets. Knowledge of subnets is very important, and how you can limit the number of IP addresses with knowing just the subnet knowledge. OSI model. OSI model is fairly a conceptual model. You should know all the 7 layers of OSI model, right, beginning from layer 1, physical layer, up to the layer 7, that's application layer. And also at last, the importance of TCP/IP versus UDP. Where do you use TCP/IP and the difference between TCP/IP and UDP. Second important skill to have is the knowledge of operating system, that is Windows and Linux, just 2 of these to study, but you should know the basics of both the operating systems, get hands-on familiarity with both the operating systems, how their file structure looks like, how to do basic troubleshooting like ping, traceroute, read log messages from both the operating systems, and in case a troubleshooting is required, you should know a fair bit of command lines that you can run on both the operating systems. Third important skill to have is the knowledge of cybersecurity concept. Now, to protect your system and data, you should always grasp the knowledge of fundamental cybersecurity concepts like a CIA triad. Now, I cannot stress this enough how confidentiality, integrity, and availability is important. You should know what's a CIA and how it affects an organization's confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data. The CIA triad is given the utmost importance because it drives all the risk assessment models. Fourth important concept to know is the very bare bones once again for cybersecurity, that's knowing what's an encryption and decryption, knowing authentication, that is username, passwords, and some sort of multi-factor authentication. Access control. Here access control means limiting access of the data to limited number of users. And at last, security policy. Security policy is something that governs everything over here that you have mentioned, that how an encryption should be done, how an authentication mechanism or multi-factor authentication should be applied on network, and how accesses should be controlled. To give you a real life example, say for example, you have your laptop or your desktop on your computer. Who should be able to access your desktop or your laptop? What sort of authentication mechanism or multi-factor authentication is placed? And also what type of encryption is there in place so that it can protect the data at rest. Fifth cybersecurity skill that you should know is vulnerabilities and threats. Now, you should always know the common security vulnerabilities and threats and be up to date with the latest malwares, phishing, and social engineering attacks. Understand how these threats can compromise your network security. Read about recent data breaches. Read the latest blogs and articles that you have. Bleeping Computer is one of my favorite ones. Research on the vulnerabilities and the CVE scores that it gets released. And most importantly, you should know how the CVE scoring works. Right now, we are on the CVSS score of version 3. How you should also know how CVS is scoring. Version 2 differs from version 3. Cybersecurity skill number 6, security tools knowledge. Familiarize yourself with firewalls, antivirus, softwares, the intrusion detection systems, and VPNs. So firewalls like Palo Alto, Fortinet, antivirus like McAfee and Sophos, IDS IPS solutions like Fortinet and Cisco, and VPN solutions like Palo Alto, Cisco, and Pulse Secure. Get yourself familiarized with the tools that you have at your disposal on your organization's network in case you need to operate any of these tools. Cybersecurity skill number 7, ethical hacking. Now this sounds like someone with an experience would do, but I would say this is very bare bones when it comes to cybersecurity. Explore the ethical hacking and penetration testing. Learn how to identify vulnerabilities and secure systems. There is a very fine line of difference between vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. I've made a separate video on that one. I'll link that out in the cards over there in the corner. Do check that out. I'd also at this point of time recommend you go through the online courses, visit the EC Council website, who offers CEH or Certified Ethical Hacking Training plus the certification. Currently they are in version 11. It's always helpful to read ethical learning or ethical hacking books, get yourself familiarized with the commands, and as previously mentioned, install Kali Linux in a virtualized environment and try to practice over there. Last cybersecurity skill, and it's not really a skill, but it helps you develop those skills, and that's get cybersecurity certifications. Consider yourself getting one of those highly recognized certifications. I'll say if you're a beginner, start with Security Plus, CompTIA Security Plus. That's an excellent certification to have. Or you can go with CEH, Certified Ethical Hacker. Or you can also go with CC, that is Certified in Cybersecurity by ISC Square. If you're already a bit tenured in cybersecurity, I would say you can go ahead with attempting CISSP, CISM, and CISA for auditors. These are fairly advanced level of cybersecurity certifications that you can have, but reading just the materials will give you an ocean of knowledge. Now with that, I'll go ahead and say I'll give you 3 key pointer reminders. Remember that cybersecurity is a dynamic field, and you should always be continuously learning on the recent developments that happen in cybersecurity. And as a rule of thumb, I'd say practice, practice, and practice. Practicing a lot on the tools and also on the command line will give you a lot of exposure in cybersecurity. And if you're also interested in more in SOC and cybersecurity related Q&As, as promised in the beginning, I'll go ahead and link my website. Go ahead and explore my website. I've listed down top 10 cybersecurity interview questions that get asked in most of the cybersecurity L1 and sometimes even L2 interview questions. Get yourself familiarized with all of those Q&As, and if you've got any questions, hit me down at the comment downs below. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Now with that, we have come to the end of the video. If you've liked this video, go ahead and share and subscribe to my channel. I'll give it a thumbs up or a like button. I'll highly appreciate that. And at the very least, share this video with your family and friends whom you would think would benefit by watching this video. And until next time, stay safe and stay secure. Bye now.